Hey Gearholics, it's me, Gearholic here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the CRKT M16-14zsf, which is a lot to say. This thing is going to be 9 1/4 inches. It also has a blade length of 3.875 inches, so 4 inches-ish. The closed length is going to be 5.375 inches closed, with a full weight of 6.3 ounces. So it's heavy. So the first thing I really want to talk about is the blade, which is really awesome. So obviously the blade has been really well designed. It's Oz 8 steel with a Tonto. It's a Tonto shape here. It also does have these really cool little finger guards with thumb studs as well. It does have these little serrations right here, and obviously that Tonto tip. It's really good for tactical rolls, piercing, and all whatnot. The great thing I like about this knife is the fact that it deploys really well. So you have to disengage this little lock. I forgot what they call this, like the AutoLock or whatever they call it. And what you do is that you flip that down, and while you're flipping that down, pull that in, and then you have to disengage the lock bar at the same time to close the knife. And what that does is it's spring loaded, so that way when you deploy the weapon or deploy the blade, it locks open, and as you see, it pops into position. And what's happening there, and I'll show you guys, is as the knife is coming out, you can see that the AutoLock engages as well. And the AutoLock is this little bar you can kind of see moving up and down in there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's the AutoLock right there. And what that does is it locks this lock bar into positions. That way, when it's in the locked position, you cannot disengage your main lock bar. So that's kind of a cool thing. And it is spring loaded, so it's very easy and it deploys every single time. Another great thing about this is obviously the finger guards. That makes it really easy to open. When you pull it out of your pocket, this top finger guard catches on your pants and deploys. And when that happens, what that's really designed for is the fight or flight instincts that happen when you're in a fight. When you go to deploy a blade, sometimes if you're in a fight or flight situation, you do not have the capabilities to fumble around with a folder and use your fingers or your thumb studs to open up the knife. A lot of people just kind of, they fail to do that. What this does is it eliminates that issue by just automatically opening up the knife for you. You don't have to think about it. Another thing I don't like though about this is the thumb studs, which are on here. They're just crappy. They're hidden away when you try to deploy it with the thumb studs. They're just almost impossible to grab. Let's go ahead and talk about the handle design. Handle design is a desert texture here. You can kind of see it a little bit. It's supposed to, I guess, kind of represent like a tactical desert pattern, which is okay. The only thing is they're FRN handles, so it's fiberglass reinforced nylon, but they're so slick. I mean, they're smooth. You can almost see the reflection coming off of those things. That's how smooth those things are, and I don't like that. I wish that there was some texturing on there, so that way it give you something to kind of purchase, when you're using it in like utility tasks. So that's one thing I just don't like about it. It does have a pocket clip on it that is reversible, right or left, tip up or tip down carry, which is really nice. As you can see here, the holes. Very easy to put together, torque screws on everything, so that's pretty simple. If you get yourself a torque screw, you can pretty much take this thing apart. I have yet to take it apart and clean it thoroughly because of the open design that this knife really has. It's very open, so that way it lets all the debris and sand and blood and guts and things move through this knife. So when you're using it, you don't have to really worry about cleaning it all that much. And you see how much space is in between the knife blade and the actual handle itself. You can see just how much room is in there, which is really good. So just like an AK-47, if there's sand or debris or anything that's in there, it's not going to stop the knife from deploying. And so all you need to do is just get some canned air and blow it out every now and then, and it really just kind of maintains itself, which is nice. But other than that, this is really just a beater knife at a $30 price. which is another reason which brings me to it. It's a $30 to $40 knife, or $40 to $30 knife, however you want to look at it, which is a really great price for a knife. And I think that's a really winning point with me, because it's a cheap tactical blade. You can go out in the field, use it, beat the crap out of it. You lose it, you break it, buy a new one. That's another great thing about it. And on top of that, CRKT has got a really good policy about replacing knives if they fail or if there's anything wrong with them. So my final thoughts on the CRKT M16-14zsf, which is a mouthload again to say, is it has pros and cons. Pros, it's a very beautiful design, very well thought out, easy to deploy, easy to use in any situation, easy to defend yourself with, very well balanced, and very cheap in comparison to how folders go, or how tactical folders go. Cons are going to be that I don't like the bead blasted finish. I don't like that the FRN handles have no texture. I don't like the weight. It's too heavy. But my overall thoughts, I think that it's a very well designed knife. I think that if you really like folders and tactical folders and want something really cheap to replace your everyday carry knife to defend yourself with, maybe your law enforcement, maybe your military, you want something easy to carry and something you don't have to worry about losing, I think that the M16-14zsf is the thing to carry. So that's my final thoughts on it. I'm Gearaholic. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Alright, so we're talking about the M16. So we're talking today about the CRKT M16. The CRKT M... Okay. Talking about the M16... all those letters and numbers and things, but if they made a simpler name for it, like, I don't know, the Desert Eagle, they could call it anything they wanted. Oh man, I am just screaming out loud right.